Greetings to our viewers and welcome to yet another episode of The Girls Table. My name is Hlengiwe Mtetwa. So today we're joined by the leading ladies of the media, Bobulawayo. Now they're going to tell us what they're about because they're anchors in their different rights. So let me take this opportunity to thank the Pink and Purple team for collaborating with The Girls Table for this episode. Ladies, welcome to The Girls Table.
Thank you.
All right, so Lapa as promoting humility. So as you introduce yourself, just tell them exactly what you're about.
Okay.
As for no, just tell us exactly what you're about, especially as an anchor in the different shows that you're doing. Saqala ngawe.
Igama lami nguLady Chawe indodakazi kaMpanga zithi aqhube ngelaqhala iqhala bedolo kuphela ngumambanja nomahlo and this is who I am, Lady Chawe. I anchor a show called Cultural Expressions, and we're all about wanting to learn about what we are as people, as abantu, the different myths, if there are any, and different rituals. Are there rituals? Who actually calls them rituals? And isn't as in Jalo? And I'm an award-winning actress.
Give it to us.
I'm an award-winning actress. I'm an author. I'm a poet. I'm a dancer. And what else? I'm a wife.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Okay, my government name is Tembi Pida. My name is Nti. Yes, with, emphasis. Right, I am my father's daughter. Like, me and Pops are one. I'm nothing outside him. And I am a TV presenter for a show called Pink and Purple, which celebrates women across Zimbabwe, Africa in general. Yes.
Awesome.
Wow. Hi, I'm Busi, Busi Bebe. I don't know how to introduce myself. You say, well, ladies. Anyway, I run an organization called Amakosikazi Media. We seek to put women's issues on the agenda on the platform. I just recently started a podcast called Women's News Beat, where we review the news from a woman's angle, from our lived experiences, from our context. So I think more or less, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a wife. Those are the
All right. So thank you once again, ladies, for taking this opportunity to join us on the Girls Table. Now, today, they threw all of us into the deep end. Usually, I know what today is about. But lama ngikwazi. So, kule ngcebethu phambi kwethu, we're each going to choose a topic and then dig deep into the topic at whatever angle. So, akulanda umbono wakho is. So, who wants to start?
Our elders must start.
We're leading ladies.
Starting to make me feel older.
No.
Whoa. Okay. 50-50. Yeah. 50-50. 50-50. No. I said I will start picking. I didn't say I will start talking.
No, but you have to pick and talk.
Okay, 50-50 to me. I think what we should discuss on this topic is gender equality. That's the first thing that came to my mind. 50-50. We need 50-50 opportunities, equal opportunities between male and female. We need 50-50 opportunities in salaries. Sometimes you're a young lady or whatever, you're a woman and you're working in a certain environment and you find that probably someone who's in the same position as you is getting paid more because they're male or something like that. Or we're women in media, right? You are called to come and host a show, right? And you're charging whatever amount, right? But it's not as much as the males would charge. So 50-50 opportunities and everything.
Okay, I think for me 50-50 is fairness. I think the equality in terms of cutting in half sometimes doesn't work because I'm a woman, I'm different from the man. So what I want is what will work for me. The half that will work for me, or rather the 100% that will work for me. So if, for example, we're talking 50-50 in terms of fairness, we're working in the same field. I want 100% of what I'm worth, not 50% of what I'm worth, and then the rest. So I think it means that we table, all of us, all that we are capable of doing, and then getting our dues as fairly as possible. Because if we talk about equality totally, it means that sometimes you give me what is 50%, but that I cannot use as a woman. So there
Okay.
are things that are peculiar to me in my context that I want it 100% according to what's with my wife.
All right, so I met a lady a few weeks back who said if 50-50 should only apply to professional spaces, so to speak, so education, healthcare, equal pay, like you're saying. But she said when it comes to the home, do not expect 50-50 at all, which is why I'm happy that there are married ladies on the panel. She was like, sis, know your place. The man is above you. When Aubagwazi, your place in the house. So I was there like, no, you didn't. Because I'm all about, let's change diapers together. Let's cook together. Let's change the tire together. But she was like you're saying, as women and men were different. So roles that are required of us are going to be different. So she was like, fine, M7 50-50, but when you get home, know your place. I'm still struggling with that.
I think I struggle as well. But for me, I would say in the home, it's a matter of each has to bring 100%. There's no such thing as 50-50 in the home. I believe that when it comes to matters of love, why we
Proceed.
But see, I need to bring in 100%, and my partner needs to bring in 100%. It can't be bringing 50 to make 100. You need to be two whole people to come in, because if I'm coming with my brokenness and I'm just 50% okay, he comes in with his brokenness and he's just 50% okay. You've got two people who are broken and just they're not okay. So you'd rather work with the 200%. Then coming to your point, we need to bring in, yes, I don't know, this knowing your place thing. I'm a Christian, then submission. But also at the same time, I'm like, what works for me and my husband is that we both understand that we both need to help each other. Yes, I'm the helper coming from the Christian point of view, but I need to help someone who is also helping himself. I can't just help someone because who's hlalele. Like if with my kind of job, I get home at 9 p.m. He gets home earlier than me. I find him already having cooked dinner. And then I wash the dishes. So that's already us being 50-50 in a sense, because we're understanding that we have different roles, but at the same time, those different roles need to complement each other. He's probably better at washing dishes than I am, and I'm probably better at changing the tire than he is. It doesn't negate him as a man. It doesn't also make me less of a woman. So I think in the home, we need to understand that your 100% is just as important, but then now you look at the strengths that each of you have.
I think in both scenarios, we have to think of the context, whether in the job or in the home. Those are different. Marriages are different. People go for different people. That's why we can't all be married to the same person. So, like you're saying, you have to know what works for you. You get home at 9, he gets home at 4:30. So some of these things, they're just roles and tasks. Someone actually defined it that also watching because you're a man. You wash clothes because you want to be clean. It's a task, it's a role. It's not like a duty which just because I'm a man my clothes have to be washed by a woman and so forth. No, just do what you have to so that your life is easier. But also in the workspace, there are some jobs, whether we like it or not, as a woman, to do them. But if you love them passionately and you feel you can put the power in them. For example, I met this woman who says she's learning to drive a haulage trucks.
Okay.
And I think it's good, it's really
Actually, when I got in here, I saw a lady driving a bus.
You see?
And I was there like, wow, teach me.
Yes.
But when I think of, I was then putting myself in her shoes and saying, would I go and spend like 7 days at the border queuing, Zimbra to clear some stuff, and the crime that's happening as a woman, really, I'm already vulnerable. Not because I can't do it, but the context around that job will make it so difficult. As a woman, it might be hard for you to survive. But it doesn't mean you cannot do it.
All right, maybe just to wrap up the 50-50.
So it is attainable in certain spaces, not everywhere. And as much as we want to be powerful women, leading women and make it, let's let men be men, so that we feel that they're men.
This is in the home.
Well, yes, this is.
I'm
in the
just
home.
taking.
Yes, this is in the home.
No, because if I'm taking what you're saying okay, let a man be a man. Then in the workspace, so
No, I mean in the
teasing.
home, like talking from And then,
In the workspace, I think it should start from 50-50, but we should be allowed to negotiate for our salaries. For example, it will be 50-50, but I do the job better than the man. So why should I get paid equal to him when I'm doing the work? For
married
example,
first.
if you're in marketing and you bring in more adverts, you bring in more money to the company, why shouldn't you negotiate? So you can start from the 50-50, say we're both marketing executives. The 50-50 will start who basic, who would I? If you're a marketing executive, get $1,000 each. But then I can negotiate to say, you know what, this month I brought in 3 clients, so
Yeah, so
I need more money.
And I
Because
think
it's not fair.
because you're in the same work, you went to school, you got the degree, you spent the same amount of years studying for that marketing job. So of course you need to be actually paid according to your work input and not just who you are as a human being. So I think we can start off at 50-50 as Bosi is saying, but it needs to go with your deeds. So what are you putting out there? And is it worth me actually saying, I want to be paid the work? If it's lazy, then if 50-50 won't work for me because I'm not putting in there. I need the credit. Give credit to where it's due.
Yeah.
Value addition.
All right, moving right along.
Now my turn.
yeah, you're next.
Okay. I hope it's a
Hope it's an easy one.
success in immigration. Who wrote this
Oh.
question?
Success in immigration.
Oh,
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Right. I don't know where to start. Maybe from the fact that when we talk immigration, I think of how many talented people we've lost as a country due to our situation, and the fact that it seems like you can't get success at home. All of us here, I can bet you $1 million have thought about leaving this country.
I can bet a
Look at
million.
me in the eye.
Not me.
Tell me you've
Not
never
forced,
thought about
but
it.
yeah.
Not because we don't love our country, but we feel like individually our successes are limited. You feel like I could be so far if I was in South Africa, in Australia, in Canada. And so people link immigration to living a bad situation. It's always greener on the other side. But then again, having stayed longer, I've always gone and come back. I feel like Zimbabwe.
You have tried.
Not I haven't left without an intention to come back. I
Okay.
always go knowing I'm going to come back. But when I get there, I always get people saying, stay. Why are you going
Why are you
back?
going? There's nothing for
There's
you
nothing
back
for
home.
you.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I always come back for my children because they're so young and I think they need my stability. You know, I need to stabilize their lives before I move out. But I also love being in Zimbabwe. I feel like there's enough opportunities for women, young women in my field of work. And if I leave this space, you see a computer labanye are already flourishing in other countries, it won't work. So success can be where you are. I believe Uti, if we really open our eyes and think outside the box, I know it's a cliche, it's worth peeping outside the box.
Okay.
And things will start to happen when you think out of the ordinary.
Okay. I wanted to say, because we did
We
highlight,
thought
you
that
know,
because we just spoke about this.
we spoke
before
about
the-
it earlier that like for me personally, I've been forced to leave the country so many times, you know, like perhaps be like, you need to go outside the country, and I'm thinking, no, I want to stay in Zim, I want to be home. Also, having been out of the country to stay and come back, out of the country is nice, you know, the food is better, the water is better.
No way.
No, I
No
mean
way.
the food in terms of you have a lot of options. You can go there and go, but
The
you know,
taste.
all right.
I'm
I think
joking.
depends where we've been. But I'm a foodie, so everything tastes nice to me.
Okay.
So having been outside, it's always having an intention to come back home. So coming back home now is like, wow, home is peaceful. For me, I also think it depends with what we define as successful.
Yeah.
For me, if I'm at home, if I'm peaceful, if I see all pups every day smiling, then I'm over again, it's wow, you know what? I'm good. And immigrating is not always ideal. Also going back to what I was telling her earlier, that I could have been outside the country overseas, but uPop says I said Pops ngizafika ngale ngidubeka. He said mntanami udube overseas lona it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. He says awusozula lo just try lembida. You will eat it's a different kind of food. Even if you sleep under the bridge, it's not the bridge, listen, but it's comfortable. And then I'm like, no. So I consider myself a young successful person in Zimbabwe because I'm doing what I love and I'm not complaining. I mean, we're here. So success and immigration depends with where you are and where you're starting.
I think also for me, similar experience where I've been overseas, not overseas, I've been out of the country.
Overseas.
I've been out of the country.
Yes.
I've been out of the country, and my initial intention was to find work there after studying, and then I realized I'm getting into an industry that is so competitive, and where am I gonna start as this young Zimbabwean girl who has just finished school and whatnot, and now I'm trying to find links. I don't know anyone. Then I come back home, and to a lot of people it was like, "Dingan." You know, things had not yet gotten as bad as they are now, but people are like, "But Dingan, you know, you've graduated, stay there." And for me, my response was, I wanna make a name for myself at home, on home soil. And I don't think I've attained that as yet, because I don't think the whole of Zimbabwe knows who Lady Chawe is. But at least Bulawayo has some form of an inkling idea of who I am. So I was like, I want to make a name for myself at home. When I make a name for myself at home, it's then easier to go back out there, out of the country, and be known as that Zimbabwean girl. And then when people Google you, be like, oh no, we know her, you know. But if I'm starting from that side, my success is it's so limited. It's there, but it's not, you don't enjoy it as much because your people don't even know you. And when they Google you, they'll be like, Maz, but what was it? I Zimbabwe. Maybe she was born here, and then when she was 5 years old, she went, overseas. But for me, home gave me a lot of opportunities. Like you, I can say I'm young and successful, and maybe not at the place that I want to be at, but there's some form of success that I've had. Maybe it's not even money. I've succeeded in making some of my dreams come true. I've succeeded in having certain roles that I never thought I could actually have, and they've come true. And so immigration for me is never something that has to be the answer for every problem. Because when you go that side, guys, outside there it's hard. You have to deal with being a foreigner in a foreign land. You don't get the same resources as you would here. I'm not saying Guti Lapa it's easier to be home, but Ngale it's hard because you have to produce your passport all the time, and it's
work 10 times
and
harder.
you work 10 times just to be legitimate in that country, and it becomes difficult. So I think success is also dependent on you as a person. For me, being home is okay for now. It's frustrating, but for now, being home is okay.
I feel like if I open my mouth, I'm going to say exactly what you guys say, because what all of you are saying resonates so much with me, especially your individual definition of success. Because trust, granted, Gulabo Trevor, Noah, and the Lupitas and so forth, who have made it outside of their countries, but chances are you're going to be a second-class citizen elizweni labanye abantu, when you can make something of yourself elizweni lakho. And my friend knows this. So when I think about racism, I think about classism, I think about what I could possibly face. I mean, I've been to Botswana and South Africa, and already I'm like, so imagine putting yourself in a situation, exposing yourself to all those things. But then different strokes for different folks, and to each his own. Other people feel like just because they're out of the country, they've made it, working 3 jobs and, black tax and everything and so forth. So I feel, we can try and make it at home.
I think we're all at the talk by Ansila, is a Zimbabwean successful journalist now internationally. She said something that resonated to me about knowing your vision, knowing where you're going. I feel like what you said about success resonates with that. If you know where you're going, you know the end goal, your vision. Also, where are you doing it here or because you only live to fulfill that goal. But if you don't need to live to fulfill it, what's the point? Stay at home and do what you have to do to reach your end goal.
But hey, if you want to go, you can go. I just had to pick this one. Oh my word. Children. Guys, I'm out.
What do you mean?
You don't like them or what?
I don't want children.
Why?
You
I used
guys.
to feel like that
You
before
did?
I had my 2. They changed my world.
Really?
Yes.
Listen, first and foremost, when you buy a car and you don't want it, you can take it back. You can't take children back. Like if they come, that's it. Like
That's it.
you know, and I don't know where it comes from really, because I come from a very big family. My mother is one of 8 siblings and she has all these people around it, and I have only 1 sibling, so single 2, and she came like years later after me. So I'm there like, what do you want? Like, because I'm so used to being an only child and so forth. But I also feel like as Africans, we approach parenting and ukuba nabantwana so nonchalantly. It's ridiculous, because these are things that you should plan spiritually, emotionally, financially. But people are out there, #Siamita 2019. Are you prepared to be a parent? You find a lot of people who have no business being parents, bengabazali. Umntwana, maybe they're not getting the attention that they need from you. Maybe they're not getting the money that they need from you, because you're bringing a whole human being into this world. And umntwana is out there, uhamba ngenyawo, akagqokanga, uyenza all of these things. I am not ready to put another human being into this world knowing I'm incapable of being for them what they need. So maybe, because I teach, but for now I'm like, I'm out.
You're not about that.
No thanks. And I mean, like, I need to travel. Like, but you go with them, and then you leave them, and then you're guilty.
You leave them with their granny.
And then you're guilty for living your best life.
I think for me, I agree with you to a certain degree that we approach it singazwisisi what we're doing
and what's expected
and what is
of us.
expected and the responsibility. For me, I feel like there are days when I feel like I'm ready to have a child, when my ovaries are just bruised. I'm like just feeling bruised. I'm like, you know when you see those cute babies online and you're like, ish, my ovaries. It's like, ish, now I want to have a baby. Yeah, you know. And then there are days when I'm like, yo, babe, you're not ready. Because not to say uthi asila mali, asila thando or anything, but you think about what it means for even your life. It changes. I'm not saying it will change my job or anything, but for a certain degree, it will change how I approach my work.
Absolutely.
It will change how I even approach my relationships with friends and family, because now there's this whole human who's dependent on me. And I'm like, and number 2, another reason why I feel like I'm not ready. Guys, to be pregnant 9 months. Can you see how short I am?
9 whole months.
Like, can you see how short I am? And already I'm short, and sometimes I'm chubby. And then you put a pregnancy to that, and I'm like,
You're like,
For
yeah.
9 whole
it's
months.
a whole 9
No,
whole
it should
months.
just be about for the last 4 months.
I'll be a bora, like a whole
There's
ball.
a thread I saw on Twitter. I got Dr. Cindy, SCT. People are losing teeth. People are losing hair. People, trauma joint army, they've never been the same ever since I got pregnant. Guys.
It's
Does
scary,
change your
though.
life. Speaking from
Yes, tell us.
it changes your life physically, and I mean your space psychologically, emotionally, and like you're saying, you have to plan for it, and you need the systems for it. I guess that's why it's easier to have it in a whole relationship setup with a partner who can add the 50% of the
helping.
exactly, you know, because it's difficult. This human being depends on you 24/7. They suckle, they need you to feed them, they need you to clothe them.
They're crying.
Exactly.
All night.
They're crying, they need to be fed. And as they grow older, you realize that you need to invest in them more, and be human beings that are rounded. And when you don't give them that, they start to blame you for bringing them to this world. I've seen people go online and you know, some even commit suicide. Which, why am I even in this world? Mama wabalega, leaving them with the father, maybe who doesn't even care, or a father who runs away and leaves that child. And it's so heartbreaking for me, because I know the love that comes from children. You know, children love unconditionally. After 30 seconds, it comes from a peaceful and innocent place when they're young. And then Tina, we start putting in them the negativity by the way we fail to raise them, the way we fail to treat them. So if you are not ready, don't have them, because you'll definitely need the time. They'll take up a lot of your time, and then physically.
That's more physical. Can I pass this one, man? Now, one thing scares me. What is it called? The postpartum depression thing.
Postpartum depression.
That thing scares me because it just figure and you don't plan to be depressed. Like for me, I'm really scared. Maybe I've read a lot into this thing, but I'm really scared to say maybe I've given birth and all these 9 months I've been preparing, I've been excited, have thrown baby showers, the nursery is done, like we see in the movies, everything is on point. Then, oops, comes the baby, and I'm like, I don't want it.
I don't like it.
Children. I'm a child. I'll speak from a child's mind. I'm a child because I'm my father's daughter, so I'm still his child. And I think I want to have children and try to raise them the way I was raised. However, I want a beautiful pregnancy. Nice bum. Have you seen when we talk about pregnancy? It's different. Yes.
But like, I want to work out. Girl, I feel you.
Like, have a nice pregnancy and be able to raise your kids in an environment where it's friendly. Like you're saying, you're financially stable. Everything is okay for them. Like, I think of the times my dad, I would tell him, Pops, I want this. And he says, I don't have money. He wouldn't really say it, abantu abadala, you try and, but you can see, okay, it doesn't have, not that I want to spoil my kids. I'm like, they want this, go and get it. But I just want to have children when I can afford them. For me, it's about affording them. And, crave nice things. And I'm like, I want sushi,
About the nice bump.
Yeah.
You can plan when to get pregnant if you want to. But you can't plan how it's going to turn out. They are not the same.
Oh, but it should be a nice bump. I'll wear nice clothes.
I'll wear nice
But
surely working out should help.
Yeah, but your body might not allow you that, Chiana.
You can get my everyday
nice
same shit, but the time I get pregnant, it's a habit.
I can't wait for you to live pregnant. Then you know.
And then there's the women with their children, and your children are screaming and making noise. I remember that we attended this church, Lokuzenim, there was this phenomenal speaker. And your offspring is out there making noise. No.
But anyway, I always judge and your children's characters. Oh, I'm in values and making noise. So you need to judge each character. Are they the kind that will make noise?
I remember my mom at church when we were growing up. I will not forget this day. She's saying she should say porridge if you don't want to eat porridge, because she say don't come to me during church. So and I remember that Sunday I did not eat. I didn't want porridge. For some reason I was feeling fancy. Mama said, oh, sharp. Church comes. I am hungry. I can't go cry because Mama veduhle wankuzi. And my mom didn't want this thing umntana uyamfida inside the service. She says it's bad. It's bad etiquette. So she would never carry food for us because church was short. And she'll be like, no guys, make sure, So I feel like even as parents, we need to learn, like when it comes to children, the lessons. Teach them. Teach them so that when we are in this in public.
So you need the time to really
Yeah. I think as we wrap up, go ahead. As we wrap up the conversation, I think we need to be more intentional about parenting and children. It should always come from a place of information and not being broody over it, whatever. Sorry.
I'm just like, say it already.
Okay. Done. Next.